We are finally back, guys. But this isn't my show. Right now, this is live show. So, I'm going to hand things over.
So, welcome back once again to Blades in the Dark. When last we left off, the three of you had found yourself in Dimmer Mansion, and with something of a personal objective of returning a volume, but the house itself seemed to just let you in. And making your way inside and finding your way up to a gallery overlooking a large dining room, you find yourselves in a house that is unlike any that you've ever really been in. And without any further ado, we shall jump back into the action with an engagement roll. So, usual questions, if you remember these. Is this plan overly bold or daring?
We're in Dimmer Mansion. What do you think?
We just broke in murder house.
Does this plan exploit a vulnerability or hit your target where they're weakest?
No, not even remotely.
Can any of your friends or allies provide assistance?
No.
Are there any other factors that you would like to consider?
I'm gonna say.
I was just gonna say we have something they want, and that technically we're just here for a delivery.
Is there on the second set of questions? Is there a section for this? Because I have something that is pertinent, but it's not going to help us. It's going to hurt us.
There is. Okay. This one does go two ways. So
okay. We're walking into a place where the crew wants to control the spirit trade, at least according to the book. I'm walking in a broken spirit warden outfit. Even though it's broken, I don't think that's gonna go over very well.
It's a fair point. You look like those that are adversarial to the Dimmer Sisters, and they are of a higher tier, which means that for all your efforts and for all those bonuses, we're back to 0. So we're going to roll 2 dice and take the lowest.
Yay! Aloha, everybody. It's a 2.
We're on a 2. And what load is everyone carrying? Start with Nathan.
There's no way Nathan's not going in here loaded to bear, so 6.
So heavy.
Yep.
Lottie.
Load, Lottie?
Sorry, I wasn't loud enough. Normal, not medium.
Normal?
Normal.
And Hestia.
I believe. Ooh, I'm reckless. I'm gonna go heavy.
Okay, and what kind of approach would you like to make?
I actually think this is a transport. We're not trying to deceive them. We're not. Maybe social also works, but it's mostly we're trying to deliver something, so transport seems to be the most accurate.
Transport/social. And as you stand in the gallery, looking below you, you see figures begin to flit, almost in a haze of smoke. I would like everyone to make me a resolve resistance check, please. Those of you familiar with the spirit worlds, namely Nathan, as a former warden, will at least recognize echoes, but there is as figures make their way to the table beneath you in this grand dining room and take their seats. However, just the sight of the dead being so routine and appearing without any seeming concern is enough to at least set heartbeats a little bit faster. Hestia, you take 2 stress. Nathan managed to resist, and Lottie, you also take 2 stress. As the two of you, especially breathing that a little bit heavier, notice that the air now mists in front of your mouth.
So we're essentially on like what essentially is a balcony looking down, correct?
It circles the entirety of the room, but overlooks into a central area, and you hear whispers almost emanating from the corridor behind you, the way you came in, and also from below. These very unsettling words, the likes of which, again, Nathan, you may have heard them, you may have even seen them written down, but the words themselves are ancient in nature, an unknown and forgotten language.
Nathan's going to kind of approach the railing, the edge, and kind of look down. Yeah, you know, if I were a bit younger and had actual backing, I would have already tried to burn this place. But that's not the here or the now. Where are we going? And he kind of looks back at the other two, and I'm assuming this is at the... is Omen with us at this point?
He is.
Okay.
Omen is the most intrigued by this, and has pulled out a notebook and has sort of turned it upright horizontally, so he has the wider page, and he is rapidly just scratching a very crude illustration into a page of this dinner of the dead. At this point as well, I need to ask, who is carrying that volume? When you're looking to return.
Okay, so Nathan is shaking his head. Does that mean I have it?
It could be in a pocket, it could be anywhere. It's only a small little...
I shall carry it.
You can't help but feel that where it's where is it? Is it in a pocket, or do you have it in your hands?
Oh, it's definitely in my hands.
You feel it
as sort of a shield.
You feel it grow warmer in your hands, and a sticky tackiness to it from within. As you notice where it's been bound up in paper, you notice what looks like blood to be seeping through
Oh, I don't like this. Lottie, I want to go home.
The problem is I'm not sure we can.
There are.
Or not through the way we got in.
I mean, if the stories are true, no one leaves this place. Let's prove them wrong, shall we?
Surrounding this area along the second story, where you are still overlooking, there are multiple doors set into each of the walls, leading right around. Where would you like to go? 2 doors on the long wall, opposite one another, so 4 doors in total, and then a single door in the center of the shorter sides of this rectangular room.
I mean, it's probably a bit too obvious, but the single door in the center of the shorter side makes the most sense. I mean, it's super obvious, but like,
There's 2. There's one at either end. So.
Well, are we on one of the longer ends or on one of the shorter ends? Because
you're on one of the longer sides. So there is a door to your left, further down, and then there's the so you've got a door that's obviously in the shorter side that's nearer you, and then you've got one that's the length of the room, and then you've got 2 doors opposite you.
Left is best. Let's go left.
I have no problem with that.
And as you begin to walk towards that door, the entities beneath you, seemingly either ignorant or indifferent to your presence. However, you are very aware of a skittering behind you.
I walk a little faster.
I'm gonna match Hestia's pace, and I'm gonna kind of mutter, or Nathan's gonna kind of mutter, we probably should ignore that, right?
Lottie's just gonna stay behind everybody to close the walk and start to draw one of her pistols just in case.
Okay. And as you do, you hear that again, but it seems to move out and over the roof in this grand dining room. And you notice as you just out of the corner of your eye, one of the chandeliers just
Nathan's just keeping pace with Hestia, just nope.
If I look behind me or around, do I see the source of these skitterings of the chandelier?
nothing. Opening up the door as you reach it. Door creaks open. And stepping in, you look at what looks to be a child's nursery, covered in dust and cobwebs.
Don't feel like this is the right room.
Door inside it?
Sorry?
There's no door inside the nursery, it's just the one we opened.
There is what looks to be an old closet, but other than that, it's just the room as it appears. glancing inside, there is a rocking chair by a window. Several of the panes of glass in the leaded windows, several of the panes of glass are missing. Others are cracked. All of them covered in dust and grime. And a ragged curtain hangs down in front, just blowing in a slight breeze.
Okay.
And in this...
Going against his better judgment here, actually, there is a bit of curiosity in Nathan. Nathan's gonna actually enter the room and make his way to the window and actually look outside to see where their placement in the house actually is now. Because it seems odd. We entered in on the first floor, and nurseries don't tend to be on the first floor. They tend to be fairly close to like master bedrooms and the like, which are usually on the second floor. So there is that bit of like, he's wondering if the geometry on the inside matches the geometry on the outside, so to speak. So that's why he's looking out the broken window.
As you step over to that, I'm going to say you can make me a check there.
What exactly is the check for?
To see if you can figure out where this room sits in comparison to the house of looking.
I feel like this is survey. I don't have any.
Survey, absolutely, yeah.
Is this risky standard?
It is, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I failed, no matter what.
And as you look out, you see a old, long dead hedge maze. Only the branches of the bushes that once stood there, now gnarled and intertwined with one another, give any indications to what it once was. And you noticed, as you expected, that you now stand several stories off the ground. But beside you, that rocking chair suddenly starts and rocking maniacally on the floor. And I would like you would take a level 2 harm of shaken, which you can of course resist.
I am definitely going to resist. This sounds like a resolve resist.
Absolutely.
I'll take that.
So it's a level 1 harm of rattled.
Okay.
As you step back, as this chair just rocks back and forwards with no seen occupant.
So I'm gonna kind of stare at the chair for a moment and then kind of look back to Lottie and Hestia.
Where are you currently?
I'm still kind of at the window.
Sorry, Hestia and Lottie, where are you?
I am outside the room, watching our backs, looking around, truly wanting to be anywhere else than here at this particular moment.
Okay, and Lottie, where are you? Are you with Hestia or are you in the room with Nathan?
I think I got a little bit curious when I saw Nathan entered. So I'm not very much inside the room, but just in front of the doorway, like maybe just a few steps inside the nursery, and taking a quick look of the surrounding.
Yes, as you look around and as Nathan looks back to the two of you, Hestia outside, the door slams shut.
Nathan, who was getting ready to say something, immediately changes what he's gonna say. That's gonna be locked. And he kind of nods to the now shut door behind Lottie.
Rattle it. Does it give? I try to.
It opens.
Oh, it opens. Listen.
Into what looks to be a dimly lit library.
He kind of looks over at Lottie. I was wrong. It's worse.
If I open the door in front of me, what happened?
A couple of steps leading down. Look to be stone flagstones leading into what looks to be a long disused kitchen. You can just make out the silhouettes of a large stove and a central island, which has a sink set into it, but seems to be filled up with dark, dirty water.
Are the echoes still milling about?
Everything seems quiet at the moment. They've essentially they've finished the loop, repeating their sort of something of significance in life. Likely they'll start again shortly.
And I'm so sorry, are they below me, or are they just like, am I like sharing the floor with them?
The echoes, they're in the main dining room in the floor below.
Oof. All right. When life closes a door, another door opens. I am going to walk down these stairs, press against the wall, slowly, quietly, but like ready to like judo chop someone.
Other than you realise as you get a little bit closer, you just hear the whip as water drips from the ceiling and lands in the sink and just ripples out, disturbing the silence for a brief second. But then, as the water settles, so does the sound. Meanwhile, in the nursery upstairs, Lottie by the door now opening up and looking into the library, and Nathan stood in the center of the floor as that rocking chair begins to slow. It now just seems to be rocking with the momentum that it once carried rather than any kind of unseen occupant. Looking around the room, you see what you would expect from a child's nursery: several toys, a small bed, and a very, very ornate doll's house.
No. just no. But there's a reason behind that outside of just me as a player going no. In front of Nathan is a library. Now, not much is known about the Dimmer sisters or the Dimmer mansion. There's a library there that could have untold information, so Nathan's eyes have locked on that, and he's not like running or anything, but he is making very direct motions to go into the next room.
Absolutely.
As he gets up to where Lottie is, he's gonna kind of look at Lottie and just go, I mean, at a certain point, the house is going to lead us to where we need to be. Wouldn't do if the sisters never got their book.
Lottie, it's up to you how much you hear of those sentiments from Nathan. And as you look at the doll's house, you see that bearing a remarkable resemblance to Dimmer Mansion, with a single large clock tower rising from the center of this, you realize there's a small round window in one of the very top floors, and a doll stands behind it, illuminated by the moonlight that casts its way in through the window. Could you describe your mother, please?
Okay. Lottie's mother was a small blonde woman with the same eyes as her daughter, and I think she died when she was maybe in her mid-30s. And so Lottie doesn't have many memories of what she would have looked like.
Understandable, but what stands in the window of one of these top floors, looking out of the little circle, is a small porcelain effigy of that memory that you hold.
I'm gonna do something very stupid and try to open the dollhouse and take a look inside. And
on doing so, it opens. There's a little latch at the bottom which allows the whole front of the house to open, and you see a typical layout, evidently not what you are currently experiencing, with rooms seemingly changing. There's something. So at the top floor, you realise that there's a ladder that leads up. Leads to a very, very small balcony. The doorway goes inside. That inside door is open, and what looks something else has been created. This is certainly not a purchased item, as the figure in the room with her and in the doorway looks to have been made out of pieces of out of twigs. What looks to be the skull of a dead rat, and covered in ragged bits of cloth, which the damp and mildew has got into, and this once white cloth is now turning this dark green black, with the damp seeks ever in, and this grotesque, almost spider-like figure with these almost mandible-like legs bursting out of its back, stands in the doorway, half kind of fallen over, where the manufacturing of it means that it can't really stand up properly. It's kind of half been propped in place.
Okay. If Nathan is still around, I'm just gonna ask him if that rings any bell. Is that maybe some kind of representation of a demon or weird witchcraft stuff? Have you ever seen anything like that?
Would you like to call a flashback? We'll say it's just one because this will be a research. Yes. Yeah, I'd say. Depends how you want to do it.
Yeah, it would either be study or tune. I'll go with study. I feel like this is more of a just normal thing. Risky standard?
Yes.
Okay. Nope. Failed.
There is a definite something. There is something there. However, it's just if what you read is true, don't. It's the pink elephant situation. Of if somebody tells you not to think about pink elephants, the thing you inevitably think of is a pink elephant. This is the same situation. If what you read is true, then thinking about this thing gives her a lockdown on your current location.
Oh, and then actually my failure is probably a blessing then, since I can't really think of it because I don't remember.
Oh no, you think you looking at this, you think you know what it is or who it is.
Nathan's gonna look it over and then just something best left forgotten. And then he's gonna kind of, I'm assuming he was kind of holding it in his hands, looking at it, and then he's gonna kind of haphazardly toss it back into the dollhouse.
And from there, what are you doing?
Unless Lottie pulls his attention back to the dollhouse, he's going to turn and make his way back towards the library study room.
And Lottie?
She's gonna follow him, but she will take the little doll of her mother with her.
As you see where this crude effigy has been thrown back in, you sort of turn briefly just to look at Nathan as he leaves, and as you turn back, you see that figure is now standing up again, once again propped against the wall.
Well,
and with that, we're going to jump back to in the kitchen with Hestia.
That's me, I'm Hestia.
Absolutely.
Alright, so as I make my way into this kitchen, it hasn't been used in quite some time.
Not at all. The thick layer of dust sits on everything.
And are there any exits in this room?
There is a A set of stone stairs that lead upwards a lot further than there was 2 little stairs on the way in, and then there's a big flight of stairs right up.
Wait, I'm sorry. So I'm going downstairs, and then there are stairs that go down further, and then some that go back up.
No, there's just so on the entrance to the room, there's like 2 steps just to go in, so you descend very slightly into the room. And then in the far corner, there is a big flight of stairs, again, the big flagstone steps that go up to what looks to be a second story, to the story above at least.
Okay. I will... What else is in this this kitchen, other than the sink?
What you'd expect, there's that big central island, which has got the big stone sink in it, which is and then there's cupboards surrounding, several of which you see that the damp has once again gotten into the wood so that they don't sit evenly on the walls. Some of them don't kind of fully close together. There's a large metal stove in one of the other corners, again surrounded by cupboards, and what looks to be a small kind of kitchen storage, cold storage. The door of which looks, from what you can tell, looks like it's missing.
Oh man. On the way to the steps, I'm gonna take a detour to that missing door and stick my head in and see if see what like the food is like, you know.
Make me a check.
What? Sure. This sounds like a... Oh... Is this prowl because I am a sneaky lady, or is this survey to peer into the room?
Most likely survey to have a look around.
All right. Am I risky, standard, or desperate?
This is risky standard.
That's a 1.
As you look in, the most anything in here has been for the most part eaten by various rodents. And as you look, you see something in the back, something more well preserved, likely, sitting in a layer of salt, with a hand outstretched. The fingers look to be desiccated and, but still clutching a small black notebook.
Oh, man. Does the hand have any sort of jewelry, finery on it? Does the book look expensive?
The book looks leather bound, likely something of a prized personal possession at least.
Yeah, they don't need that anymore. I am going, Is there like a jar, like an unmolested jar of pickles or jam or something that like would probably be fine and preserved as I make my way over to the barrel?
There's a few jars on some of the shelves which have obviously stood the test of time. However, the brine in them has kind of clouded over. You can't quite tell what's in there, but
All right, I'm gonna pick one up and like heft the weight in my hand as I assume the position of cat burglar, and slink over to the hand and reach out and try to pluck the notebook ever so carefully, and
as you take it, you see that it's opened. It's been held open on a page by the thumb. You hear the skin crack slightly as you snatch it away, and you look at the contents in the half light, and you see a crude drawing drawn from the balcony overlooking the great dining hall as several echoes gather beneath.
oh no! This isn't worth anything. Yeah, alright. This is omens. Right, Nespa?
It's omens.
Is this omen's hand? If I like... Oof.
Not as you know it. The jacket and from what you say, the cuff, it looks to be his coat, but it's old. This is a body which has been somewhat preserved by the conditions it's in, but must have been dead for weeks. The skin has drawn back over the fingers, now lost of any colour.
Yeah. Man, I gotta tell someone about this.
Say that will be a level 2 harm again of disturbed.
Yeah, I would love to resist this.
Absolutely. That's a result.
I am thinking about bagels and warm cooked food and time spent with family. And that's a 5.
So 1 stress, but close your mind to the immediate and think of the past, and you think of where you will be later, or where you hope to be later.
Oof. Okay, yeah, I skedaddle up them steps.
And opening a very plain wooden door at the top, you step out into an old games room. A ragged cloth in the center, probably once tan, now turned to a off grey, sits over a large pool table. Looks to be a couple of card tables to either side, and a chess set. Which looks to be...
chess? Oh, go ahead.
The chess set looks to be mid-game.
Can I figure out who's winning? Is it like a one-sided game, or is there maybe a pawn all by itself and 2 other pawns somewhere else?
Funny you should mention it. There is the game seems to be made up of impossible moves. Where the pawns have been taken from, they shouldn't have been able to cross the board like that. And also the Queen seems to be now in play despite the back row predominantly remaining. Black Queen is in play despite the back row remaining in place, and none of the pawns in front of the Queen having moved. That Queen sits very close to the 2 pawns.
Oh boy. I tuck the notebook into one of my mini pockets, and right on my breast pocket, and take a look around, and both for like an exit strategy as well as like things of value. Kind of mulling over the pickles in my hand, like really grounding myself in their weight.
Yeah, steal from the Dimmer sisters. That's not gonna go bad.
They're not using it.
Oh no. Oh no. Why is there a fortune roll and why is it a 1?
Tip of fortune, I wouldn't worry too much about a 1.
Depends on whose fortune.
It's from around here. I'm going to say, actually make me a check for anything of particular value. There's things like chess sets and billiard balls and playing cards, none of which are particularly high value, but you never know, there might be something else.
Okay. Alright, that sounds like survey more than... Yeah. Alright.
Or study. Study would also work. In a kind of appraisal.
Ooh, I don't know. Study is real scary. I didn't go to school very much. Is this risky standard?
Risky step, yes. Oh, very nice. It's going around the room itself, and this room has been quite elaborately decorated to feel relaxing and comfortable. And although itself just a cheap mirror, that's circular mirror that's been set into it, there is a very, very ornate silver frame which would be worth a pretty penny or two.
Is there a picture inside the frame?
There's a mirror.
Or is it? It's a mirror. There is a pretty picture in the frame.
Oh, of course.
I admire myself in the mirror. I like flex. And you know, and I wait, like I look at it and I kind of wait for like Gabriel and Mom and Dad to appear behind me. And
They don't. No amount of moving it.
Is this a pocketable size mirror?
It's the kind of thing that as a lurk, even though it's sizable, it was sitting on the back of on a little kind of wall hatch door, which when you open that up, just has a few kind of wooden boxes with various playing pieces in them, checkers, and so on and so forth. So it sort of sits on the back of this door, but being a lurk, you're used to how to transport stuff like this. So easy enough to carry, especially for someone like yourself.
I am going to I you know what? You never know. Like, I've heard stories. Sometimes you can only look at a ghost with its reflection. Or is that demons? It's someone. Someone you can only look at the reflection, I'm sure. And so this is a precautionary measure. I'm just borrowing it. I say out loud. It goes. The pickles set on the floor, and I take this mirror, and my pace quickens just a little bit, passing through to the next room. Yeah.
And as you open the door, which you swear for a moment that you hold your hand out, and the door just clicks before you actually before the handle actually catches and swings open.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.